Hello, everybody. Now, before I begin, just to make you guys feel a little bit more comfortable and make myself more comfortable, I'm going to tell a joke. Now, this joke isn't very PC, and I apologize if the people I use in this joke are in the audience. Please do not expel me from the school. So, some of you may have heard this. So, Mr. Marcineau, the principal of LCHS, and Vice Principal Mr. Canfield are both in a car. Who's driving? The police officer. I'm sorry if you're out there. All right. So hello, everyone. As you all know, the theme of the night is Raw. When I hear Raw, I think of things a little differently. You see, what comes to my mind is WWE's Monday Night Raw! For those of you who have no idea what I just said, Monday Night Raw is a weekly professional wrestling show put on by WWE or World Wrestling Entertainment. And what wrestling is, wrestling is a sport mixed with entertainment, where there's storytelling, narrative, protagonists, antagonists. Stories are told through matches and dialogue. Jumping back a bit, my earliest memory of watching wrestling was with my grandfather, and I remember seeing that man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, on TV, stand there like this, saying, "I'm gonna kick your candy ass!" And he hit this move called the Rock Bottom, and I thought in my 3-year life, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna do it. Instantly, I was hooked. Every single week, the one day of the week that I wait for the most, Friday, for 2 glorious hours of Friday night SmackDown. Raw, I couldn't watch so much as a kid because I'm past my bedtime, but I try to catch it during breaks. Not only did wrestling impact what I watched on TV, but it began to influence my music as well. You see, the early 2000s, mid-2000s was a very heavy metal rock culture. And I got into bands like Papa Roach, Saliva, Drowning Pool, bands I still listen to today. But I don't know about you, but if my 5-year-old ran around the house yelling, "Let the bodies hit the floor," I'd be concerned for their well-being and mine. Wrestling also took over something I really love, and that's video games. I can look you all dead in the eye and say I've played every wrestling game ever made. And I've owned every single one, starting from SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, W12, 13, 2K14, 15, 16, 17, Special Edition, Pre-Order Edition, Collector's Edition, you name it, I've had it at one point or another. Now, the reason, thank you, I got so much into video games was mainly the creativity suite. It was this ability to create my own characters, Jake Justice, my own storylines, matches, or even recreate what I see on TV. It was this exploration of creativity that I never had before. Helped me get through a lot of creativity block. Now, video games do have their restrictions, so at 7, I got into collecting action figures. 10 years later, at 17, again, I can look you all dead in the eye and say, yes, I still collect them. No, they're not in boxes. Yes, I play with them, and no, I have no regrets. You see, one of the reasons I still love playing with these guys is, well, not only is it still fun to me, but it's the fact that it's very therapeutic for me in a way, helping me deal with a lot of stress, anger, anxiety, and even overcome things like depression. It's that whole creativity flow and expressing it in ways that I have control and doing what I want. Now, jumping back into more detail about my life, I've had a pretty good life, but it's had its fair share of bad. You see, as a kid, I was bullied and I was beaten up every single day. Things weren't always good at home or with friends or even relationships. And it got so bad that 2 years ago at the end of grade 10, I tried to take my life. Now, I have friends, family, teachers, counselors. They were all helping me to the best ability that they could. But the only person that wasn't helping me was me. That was until I realized something. You see, laying in that hospital bed for 3 days, a thought crept across my mind. That was that I'd be doing something really cruel to myself, robbing myself of something I've been wanting to do forever. But not only me, it's robbing him of what he's been wanting to do his entire life, his dream. That was to be a professional wrestler. And once I understood this, I climbed to the top rope, hit that macho elbow drop, ooh yeah, dig it! And I hooked life for the 1, 2, 3, and I took control. Because wrestling was my one thing, and it still is my one thing. And I want to talk to you guys about your one thing. I'm not going to say, go out and find your one thing right now. I'm not your English teacher, and this sure as hell isn't for marks. Instead, I want to say pay attention. Pay attention to things in your life, things you do daily. These are things that you invest yourself in, mentally, emotionally. You put your time into these things. And once you begin to understand what they are, they become a great tool for you to have. And what's even more great about this is the fact that we all live our own lives. We all face our own experiences. And so we can all have our own special one thing. For me, it was wrestling. For you, it might be dance, sports, music, art, and many, many more things. You see, I have a metaphor that I use to describe this, and it goes like this. Frodo and Sam at Mount Doom. You see, Frodo and Sam get to Mount Doom, and Frodo can't go on. In this metaphor, you're Frodo. Sam is that one thing, and Mount Doom is the mountain of your life. You see, with the help of Sam, because Sam is just Sam, and he carries Frodo to the top. You're one thing carrying you to the top of this mountain. And after some persuasion and some finger losing, Frodo throws the ring into the fire. But you see, the metaphor doesn't end there. Because Frodo, that ring that you threw into the fire, that's that stress, anger, anxiety, depression, among other things. And Gollum, who jumped in after it, that's a negative impact it had on your life and the lives of those closest to you. Going back a bit, I said this was a great tool because that's what it is. It's a tool. It's not a crutch. It's not something for you to lean on. It's not something to help you escape your problems. This is there to help you fix your problems and be able to move on in life and achieve bigger and better things. Because once you have your one special thing, it becomes your totem. It becomes your motivation. And it shows you that you're never truly alone in this world. Because when the world or the people in it stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good and you're not going to accomplish anything in your life, this one thing will help you prove them wrong. It will help you achieve things that you never thought you could, make your dreams come true. And for your one thing, it might make the difference of saving your day. Or if you're like me, it might save your whole life. So I urge you to go find your one thing. And on that note, that concludes tonight's episode of Pecha Kucha Live. I will see you this Sunday for the championship. Thank you.